Hi friends, my name is Bhavya Mangla. I'm again back with a very interesting topic from my book, The Power of Self-Talk. And today I'm going to talk about expectations. And by the time this video will end, you will understand what exactly the meaning of expectation, whether we should keep expectation or not, and how to deal with expectations. Let me share a very interesting story about a king who was walking through his palace on one winter night. It was very cold, and all of a sudden he found that someone below his palace was walking, and that was an old fellow. And he also observed that that person was not wearing many clothes, and in fact, very thin cotton clothes he was wearing. He was very surprised that in this winter, how can a person live in such less clothes? So he stopped that person and asked that why you're wearing such kind of clothes? Don't you feeling very cold? That old man replied that well, for years I'm used to that, and since I don't have any expectation. The king felt very bad. He said, wait for some time. Let me go inside. I'll ask someone, and someone will bring some warm clothes to you. That person said, okay, fine, I'm waiting. As soon as king entered back to his palace, he again went back into the routine work and forgot. Next morning, he realized that he promised our old man. So he asked his people to go out and just check that what happened to that old man. After some time, the people came back and they brought the dead body of that old man. And in that, it was written, long live King. I had been living wearing these thin clothes in such cold weather, but last night, your promise of giving me a warm uniform took my life. Well, something similar happens in our life also. We do have some expectation from others. But then when these expectations become a boundary for us or we become dependent on some person, at that time it creates a problem. Something what happened to that old man. Well, Shakespeare has very rightly said that expectation is the root cause of heartache. In general, when we think about life, I think for my expectation or my analysis, more than 90% of the time, our expectations are met. And then we feel that since majority of the things are achieved or what we think is happening, we think that everything will happen in our way. And there can be many small and big expectations. It could be as small as that you help your friend to complete a project. And now you expect your friend also to help you to complete the project. Or maybe you invited someone for dinner and then you offered a five-course meal. But then next time when you're going to your friend's house, at that time your expectation is that that friend will also offer you a five-course meal. Or maybe your wife does not like cricket, you like cricket very much, so you invite her that okay, come with me and then let's go and watch cricket. Then after some time, now your wife's turn. Now she likes movies very much, but you don't like. But now she expects that you will reciprocate and you will also go back with him for the movie. And there can be so many expectations in life without realizing that not all expectations can be met. Well, it has been very rightly said by Bruce Lee in one of his statements. And he said that I'm not in this world to live up to your expectations. And you are not in this world to live up to mine. So it's very important that we must make sure that whatever expectations that we are having that are either minimum or we don't keep any expectation because that creates a lot of problems. So that brings another important question that should we have expectation or we should not have expectation? Well, frankly speaking, logically we all have some expectation and there's nothing wrong in that. The only problem is that when we attach ourselves to those expectations, because when we attach ourselves to those expectations, then the problem starts. Say for example, your wife, as I give the previous example, likes movies and you like cricket. Now she is reciprocating and she is going with you. But then when she is expecting you to come with her to watch the movie and then you say no, then what she reacts, what she feels, that my wife, my husband does not understand my feelings and he only expect only her feelings to be understood. So in that what happens, it leads to the conflict. So there are many questions or many problems that arise. The first and the foremost is that it creates too much of pressure. Because what happens is that when we do something for others and the other person is not doing the same thing for you, then we feel that how it can happen to me when I am supporting, why the other person is not supporting. Then second very interesting thing is that sometimes we are grateful to someone when someone is supporting for the first time, but when it repeats, we forget that. Say for example, you pick up your friend from the airport. So at that time, your friend may feel that yes, you did something out of the way and come there. But now think again, another scenario. Now maybe when the person is coming again second time, so that at that time the expectation will be yes, certainly this time will also come. And this time you will not appreciate that much the way you did the previous time because you think that it is fine. And the third and the most important thing is that in scenario many times we put our happiness on that expectation. And when that expectation is not met, we feel very bad. Well, Sadhguru has said a very, very nice thing. He said, having expectations of others means you're trying to fix their lives. Don't do that. Fix your own life. That is freedom. Once again, let me say the same thing again. There's nothing wrong in having expectations. But then believing that all your expectations will be met, that's a problem. As I said earlier, that 90% expectations are generally met. But that remaining 10% are those wherein there is always a high possibility. And if you see around, majority of the people are not worried about those 90% which are getting fulfilled. They are worried about those 10% which are not being fulfilled. Because those 90% they assume that they own that and it should be met. So what to do? So let's assume a scenario that, again, same scenario of husband and a wife, that husband wants to go to watch a cricket match, wife does not watch. Then husband transfers to another city, expect the wife to accompany her. Then another thing happens that husband decides to leave to a different country and now expect wife to accompany her and leave her job. What can be done? So there can be three possible scenarios with respect to expectations. The first and the foremost is never expect. And even if you're expecting, if it happens, fine. If it does not happen, fine again. Then the second scenario. Now in such scenario, there is a possibility things are not happening as per your expectation. Now very politely, you can always say no to the other person and giving the justification that why you're doing so. But in majority of the cases, actually it is scenario number three, wherein you can't say no because of different reasons, because maybe you're dependent on that person, maybe there is some issue with respect to the culture, maybe it's something with respect to the relationship, and there can be something else. So what you can do when you are forceful to do that? So one is do it and then think bad always, and then relationship becomes bad. The other option is accept that, okay, this is I have to do, let me do it, but with full intensity, with full commitment and full integrity. When we do that, then the relationship always remains good, and that relationship gets strengthened in future too. There are many ways in which we can improve our expectations and non-expectation. The first and the foremost important thing is always have a gratitude and always thank God for whatever you have got, because once you do that, the expectations of expectation get less. The second and the third most important thing is mindfulness and meditation, because they both help us to feel and to see the things in the right perspective, so that even if something is not happening as per our expectation, we still accept that particular person. Well, something is very rightly said in Bhagavad Gita, and it is written there that to love without condition, to talk without intention, to give without reason, and to give without expectation. That's the spirit of true love. My dear friends, I am challenging myself every day. Many times I am failing. Sometimes I am successful. But still I am challenging myself every day to get away from this fear of expectation. I am challenging myself. what you are doing. I'm waiting to hear from you. Thank you.